Black Friday is right around the corner, and so are the holidays, and that means buying some cool stuff for yourself or a loved one.
And today we're gonna do it in ToastyBros fashion. Everyone around the office got a budget. Well, we're actually gonna determine what budget they'll get here in just a second. And then they have to pick a tech product to showcase to you guys that you may consider to buy as a PC gamer. But before we dive into that and show you guys what budget each person got, let's hear a word from today's sponsor.
Shout out to today's sponsor, eMeet, and their new Pixie 4K webcam, which I'm actually filming with right now for this ad spot, believe it or not. This awesome AI and gesture control camera is one of the best quality webcams I have seen out there. And this camera has a lot of different modes, but the main ones you need to know is that it can do 4K 30 FPS and 1080p 60 FPS. The Pixie has 0.2 second autofocus, which is absolutely crazy using the blink focus technology. But yeah, not only is this webcam incredibly sharp, it can also autofocus incredibly quick. And I like this camera so much that I actually took it home with me, and I'm gonna keep it because I wanna be able to do my garage streams at home, and this camera is both sharp and it follows me around in my garage, and it works good in low light situations. So I don't know what y'all are waiting for, whether you're getting into content creation or you just need a webcam upgrade, you should check the links down below. They're actually running a sale from November 20th to December 1st where you can get really good discounts on all of their cameras, so make sure you go check those out ASAP. Now let's go ahead and get back into this video.
Pick from the chief helmet.
All right, well I already know what I want, so let's see if I can get this.
Wait, what was that? You gotta, wait.
There has to be.
Wait, hold up. You're supposed to pick one. You're supposed to pick one. Okay, all right, no. Next one is it. Wait, where'd that come from?
$160 budget.
What?
I can buy the Aura light that I want.
I did too. Oh yeah, that means I have to get rid of the 150, don't I?
No, you don't have to. It's not our fault.
Well, I'm trying to work up a scale here.
Matt, my hands are shaking. I'm so scared.
$100.
Dang.
Come on, 160. I don't want to have the lowest. I at least want to be the middle one, but hey, 75, not bad.
Hey. I'm drawing for Jonah.
You guys want to play back and have it?
Oh, this is gonna be hard for him.
I just don't want anything.
125. Yay.
So as you guys can see, we have budgets between $50 and $160, and of course, we're going back in time a little bit because everyone has already bought their product, everyone has been testing their product, and now we're gonna go to each person and see what they think of their product and how they can recommend it to you or a loved one.
Yeah, for 160, you know, that was a little bit rigged. You all saw that whole process. But you know what? You guys get a cool product that Jackson really wanted, so let's not waste any more time. Who do we want to bring in here first? I feel like lowest price, the guy holding the camera.
I always go last, without fail.
But you gotta go first this time. Here comes Jonah with his $50 recommendation. Hey guys, Future Matt here. I just want to let y'all know pricing in this video is based on the MSRP set price of the product that we purchased before Black Friday, but I am recording this update as we're uploading the video, and to our surprise, everything in this video is actually cheaper. So use those links down below. Again, that may not be the case if you're watching this past Black Friday, but for the week of Black Friday, it seems like on Amazon, you can save 15 to 20 bucks on all these products. So use those affiliate links down below. Now let's get to Jonah's product.
All right, Jonah, so you had 50 bucks. What did you get and how much did you spend?
So I only spent $40, and this is the Xenvo Pro Lens Kit for iPhone, Android, and pretty much what it does is it's a 2-in-1 lens kit. And they call this like a 2-in-1 package because you get a macro lens and a super wide lens that is detachable. Although on this video, we're gonna be focusing more on the super wide aspect because I did try out the macro functionality of it, and I will say it's pretty limited in terms of the actual use case of it. But if you wanted to get really close-up shots of certain things, you definitely can. It also comes with like a little glow clip for an extra like fill light. This is a pretty cool all-in-one kit for your phone lens, but this is essentially made to give you better magnification and a better, clearer image whenever you're doing anything with your phone camera. So I have a 15 Pro, and I will say the camera is pretty good on this as is, but I did want to try out and see if there was still a use case for me having a nice camera on my phone already. One of the reasons why I wanted to try this out is because I wanted to use it on my front-facing camera, because the front-facing camera on the iPhone isn't the best, and I want this thing a little wider, so if I am vlogging at home or doing anything on the go, having that extra ultra-wide front lens so I can see what I'm doing and how I look is a big help compared to just flicking my phone around and using the 0.5, which also isn't that great of a lens. So there's a couple use cases for this, but like I said, as well included in the box before we jump the gun here, You get a little carrying case, which I don't even think you can use if you have this like fully set up. But if you do kind of disassemble it every time, you can do that. You get a little cover for safety, and then you can actually get this micro USB to a USB-A, and you get a little glow light. So it has 3 light settings, and you can kind of clip this onto your phone as well.
It's actually pretty bright.
I know, it gets really bright. And you kind of get like your own little vlog style setup on your phone, which is kind of cool.
Really show off the pores and everything.
Yes, and you can do that because this, I will say, the glass is pretty solid. You remove the little cover right here, and then you have your lens. And we'll demonstrate on the front-facing camera because that's the easiest way to see. So as you guys can see here, we have the phone app pulled up, and then we also have the wide-angle lens. And you can use this with the case on as well. And you kind of just put it over the little lens, and you can see visibly right here that it pretty much like doubled the amount of focal length that we have up front, and you can even see yourself. So this is what I like personally, so I can see what I'm doing. I get an ultra wide lens, so I'm not like really punched in like this. And yeah, I think it looks pretty good. I mean, I don't really see any, like you might have to mess with it a little bit to get the perfect centering, so you don't get some like haziness on the sides and stuff like that, but it is pretty good in terms of just ultra wide, smooth. You can also zoom in, you can also get pretty close with that macro ability on this lens and get nice focusing features. So that's a plus there. Throw on the little key light and you have yourself a little vlogging setup. So not bad. Not too bad. Yeah, my phone's auto dimming because of the fact that this is covering the light sensor on the front. But I mean, this is a pretty solid thing, and you can see here when we take it off how much closer it actually is. So you do get a good punch out, especially since you kind of auto crops them when you do video. So yeah, that's kind of the appeal to the, I guess you can call it the front-facing camera, which I probably be using at home if I don't want to bust out my camera and tripod and all that stuff. Just kind of go on the go with this little lens here. And then for the back here, you kind of have to figure out which lens that is actually being used, and it's usually the bottom left for 1x. And this one can be a little more difficult, but you can usually, like right there, you can get it pretty much perfectly matched up.
Even with the phone case on.
And even with the phone case on. Sometimes it can be a little difficult, and you may have some like weird stretching on the sides, but even then though, it does seem like pretty good right here. And that's my first go. So again, a nice thing with this is that you can get really close and nice and close with high quality focusing with this macro lens, so you can get some nice shots with it.
You gotta show them the super wide.
And then if you move it around to the super wide, if you go to super wide on iPhones, sometimes it isn't the most clear, and especially in lower lighting performance, it just doesn't do that great. So adding this on in a low lighting setting with that, so you don't have to go to the 0.5 option on the built-in camera, is a really nice touch, and it does help out a bit for those applications. So if you're getting out, starting in content creation, if you're in like the tech space, you kind of want to get started somewhere, you don't want to spend $1,000 on a camera, this $40 option is small, easy to carry around, and you can even use it on the go for photos and videos and stuff like that. So that's all I really have for it. Seems like a pretty good tech item. Good. And it's really straightforward, so yeah.
Okay. We know a lot of you gamers are into other hobbies too, like photography, so it's a good one. So claps for Jonah, claps for Jonah's product. Now we're going on to the myth, the man, the legend, the video editor, McAllister.
All right, so the product I have today is a mouse, a gaming mouse. You know, everyone needs a mouse in order to do what they do on their computer, but this one has a special function that I really enjoy, and I think you would too if you'd be willing to give it a shot, which is 1,000 buttons on the side. Not necessarily 1,000, but when you see it, whoo, it is practically 1,000 buttons.
Ooh, comes with a little soft case.
So which model is this?
This is the Razer, yeah, actually it'd be helpful to say the name of the product, wouldn't it? We have the Naga Hyperspeed 2. Is that correct? Did I get that
V2.
Right? The Naga V2 Hyperspeed, actually. So this is Razer. The Razer Naga has been a mouse I used to use all the time, but then when I got my new computer, I decided to do something different and try out a mouse that wasn't this, and I stopped playing MMOs around that time, so it was fine. But if you're an MMO player, this might look very helpful to you. So here's my pitch for why I think you all should run with this. First off, it's got the wireless dongle on the inside, you know, nice and simple.
It comes in from the top.
Comes like right here. That's easy. Now you may be spotting something that might make you want to not use this, but I'm gonna tell you that I thought about it for all of 10 seconds, and then I was like, wait, this is a great idea, which is, have you ever had your mouse die on you while gaming? Yeah. Yes, and you prefer wireless, right? Yep. Do you have a battery drawer in your home, being adults? You know,
yeah,
drawer?
Yeah, I would say
okay,
so.
cool. When's the last time you put a battery in anything?
It's been a while.
Okay, so you have batteries that are good, that are not getting value, right?
Yeah.
So would you rather recharge it or slap in a new one real quick and be back to gaming at 100%?
I can see the battery argument. I
Yeah,
can see it.
I'm for it at this point because I don't know on the weight level. You all can tell me because you're more inclined on that sort of thing than I am, but you slap it right back on. The weight for you?
It's definitely heavier than I'm used to.
Okay, it is.
Yes, but it's not unbearably heavy. I could use this, because again, I've used one of these before. I mean, before the lightweight mouse craze, I used one of these before, but yeah, definitely heavier. Jackson, you want to feel it?
It says up to 250 hours of battery life, so it's not like
It's a long time.
you're not throwing new batteries in all the time. It's not bad. I mean, honestly, I miss having this. Like back in the day, you know, every mouse, it was normal to actually have like finger rest for like your pinky and ring finger, but it's not that bad to me. I like lightweight mice, but I don't care that much.
See, I think we're all under the impression now that if you are playing a game, I don't think, maybe Jonah disagrees, you're probably the most FPS gamer out of all of us, that when it comes to it, you could be a professional and use this mouse, right? A professional typically doesn't because other ones don't. But in my opinion, every game, if you just get good enough, you can use whatever you want. Like, there are people playing the worst characters in fighting games. There are people using just what they have at home to play the game they want to play and doing better than maybe you with your 240 hertz monitor and all that. So, in that case, why do I like this button bar? Because it's really the main reason to get the Naga, and that is because when you're playing games like MMOs, you have hotbars that go from 1 to 10. If you play League of Legends, you'd have just Q, E, R, W, D, and F, and you're pretty used to that idea, but then you get to an MMO and it's like you need to tap a rotation, which requires you to press a bunch of buttons in sequence, and then you're like occasionally throwing in an odd button. So I've been playing Final Fantasy XIV, for instance, and this is just, I'm gonna put a picture right here of my hotbar. For you all who can't see it, it's about 20 buttons that I need to have available. Can you name 20 buttons you could readily press with your left hand?
Not really, no.
No. Okay,
No.
so you start adding in special things, right?
Yes.
Like modifiers. You can hit Shift Q.
Yes.
There you go. You got Shift Q, maybe Shift E, Shift R, now Shift 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, once again, we have to go to another button. We have to go to another modifier like Alt or whatever. But this one gives you my favorite spot, which is just this section right here. This little L, these 4 buttons are the ones I really use because I can bind like a movement, like sprint to this. The game has a sprint that's like an activatable. It's not like you hold down to sprint.
Like a toggle.
Yeah, that, or this is my knife button in games, my shop in League of Legends, anything I want to get to and open often that I don't easily reach my left hand. Maps in some games goes here, and then maybe I hit a little less often, I go one above it. It's really easy to feel that difference. So this L is really what's good for me, and then the more degenerate you get, the deeper you're in the game, the more you'll start to move up this, but I don't typically use the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but just having the option though, for like occasionally, you know, when one hand's busy, you gotta use something.
You never know when you'll need a free hand.
So it's pretty cool. You also have the ability to adjust sensitivity on the fly, which is pretty nice. If you're like me and you like a really high sensitivity, a lot of games don't cater to it immediately, but I will say the only downside I have had is I do run a very small setup. So if you are somebody who's like fighting for room at your setup, I bump this in, and when it hits the side of your thing, I constantly up and down it. So it's not the worst, but we do have an infinite, you know, scroll wheel, which if you edit video, this is super nice to be able to zoom in and out of projects. I don't know why, when I didn't have one, my fingers started hurting. So I remember we switched over, and since then I've not had that pain. I fear carpal tunnel like horribly. So the idea of having any macro that will shorten the movement makes it really good for me. But otherwise, yeah, that's the Razer Naga. It's, I believe, what was it? My budget was 60?
75.
75. So yeah, it comes in around $75, so it's right in that range. If you're looking for a way, especially for you MMO gamers out there, to up your setup, I really dig this. It's super fun.
Now let's jump up to $100, and that's Zach.
Hi guys, I'm Zach. My budget was $100 and I didn't rig it like someone else, but I was given $100 and I wanted some IEMs. So here we are, we got the Truthear Pures. These are $90 and that, you know, isn't $100. I spent an extra $10 on something sneaky. We'll get into that, but here they are.
IEMs,
So
baby.
small.
Now you know me. I love me some IEMs. I've been wearing IEMs daily on my setup for, it has to be about 2-3 years at this point now. Definitely replaced my gaming headset. So I want to know what you think of these.
So I wanted to get some IEMs because I wanted something to be able to listen to music on my phone and, you know, Crunchyroll for my anime, all my anime fellows out there. But, you know, I didn't want a pair of wireless earbuds just because I feel like the sound quality with anything Bluetooth or wireless is, you know, severely lacking. And also I don't have to worry about keeping them charged. So decided to get some IEMs, and honestly, I've been using them for gaming too. They're pretty nice. So one thing with IEMs is ignore my little dongle right there from my phone. You know, Apple problems, have to get the lightning cable. But with IEMs, for the price, a pair of $100 IEMs is going to significantly clap out a pair of $100 headphones. for some reason, just IEMs on a budget, they have insane sound. I'm not an audiophile, I don't like music, but they're pretty good. But in the box, for the $100, you get a bunch of different ear tips. So those are all the different ear tips, ignore the extra ones I bought. That's what I spent my sneaky extra $10 on. I did not like any of the stock tips. I'm sure for some people, they'll be fine. I mean, they're acceptable. Like, they work, they fit. They're not the comfiest fit, but you get a nice seal. It's just, I had an extra $10 in my budget, so I was like, I'll get some nicer ear tips. Honestly, it helped out a lot. I get a better seal, my ears are more comfortable. I feel like the sound's a little bit better too. So honestly, I would highly recommend getting different tips if you have the resources to do so.
Yeah, you said you only spent $10 extra on the tips, so
Only
it's
$10
not too
extra,
bad.
so. And then there's a ton of different options. I got a variety pack that has small, medium, and large sizes in there. Right now, I have the larges on, I believe. I didn't know what size I would need, really. If I did, I would have probably gotten like a set size, because variety packs, you get 3 for $10, or if you know what you want, you get a nicer pair of tips just for $10 flat if you know the size you want.
So yeah, I guess a good question that we were talking about kind of off camera was, IEMs start really cheap. You can get like 20 bucks, 30 bucks for a pair. I think most of the ones I use are like 20, 30 bucks. I think I have Truthear like blues are the ones they're called. They were like 40 or $50, which is pretty solid, but close to $100. What exactly do you feel like you're getting for that price?
So, for the nerds out there, McAllister can put up the little nerd spec sheet right there. It's got a ton of technical information that I am scared to say because I'll mess up a number. But basically, this has a better frequency response chart, and you know, it just has, with different IEMs and different headphones in general, they have different sound profiles, different signatures, they have different frequency responses at different responses at different frequencies. So it just depends on kind of what you're looking for, but with a more expensive IEM, you get a bunch of quality of life features. Like this has a little bit of aluminum here just for a better build quality. It has detachable cable, which is nice if you ever want to change the cable or if you ever have a damaged cable. The cable itself is just higher quality too. It's not going to get as tangled as easily. It's a lot softer than other, like, you know, firm cables that just get twisted up. The comfort's gonna be better, and obviously the sound is also just gonna be higher quality if you spend a little bit more money.
Is that gonna, you gotta do like what I do with that one audio company where it's like, well, they suggested these live performances to really hear the acoustics.
Now for the audio files that are watching, we're playing something on YouTube. We're not doing a local file that has a certain like bit rate. Like, we're just listening
playing
on
the stuff
YouTube.
we would normally
Yes.
play. You know?
So Bangarang.
And then while Matt's listening, I'll talk a little bit about my experience with the sound. I wrote it down because I have bad memory, honestly. So to regurgitate things smarter people have said about the sound, and then also that I kind of agree with, they're very neutral sounding. The treble isn't as emphasized, so that's like the high ends, a lot of like, you know, vocals and like, you know, hi-hats, things like that. They're not as emphasized, they're a little bit, you know, recessed, which I personally like because I feel like when the trebles are really high, it gets kind of fatiguing, you get those really high-pitched sounds. The bass is a little bit more accentuated than other IEMs, I would say, but not like super hardcore. So if you're like a big bass head, I would definitely recommend looking at something else. But the bass is still acceptable. They're good.
Jonah knows I like the bass. I'm
gonna guess what you said. The bass isn't like crazy on them, but they do sound really clear and everything. I do like the way they sound. Here you go. Here's some Bangarang.
See if they'll fit. So yeah, fun fact about me, my earlobes are like totally, my ears just aren't even the same. And normally things don't fit well, left and right.
Yeah. Okay. And then one thing that's important for IEMs that a lot of people don't realize is that the tip you put on there is very important. I like wide bore tips because to get a good sound, you have to have a good seal in your ear. That way the sound doesn't leak out and then it just kind of stays in your ear.
These things are sound canceling, dude. Yeah, I definitely, like, I have to push on them to get a seal, but like I said, I've never found an earbud that truly like fits my ear because it's so small on my left side. So, yeah. But they sound really good though. And I think the reason why these can sound better than headphones, especially for less money, is because of that seal. They're going literally in your eardrum, so it's not like they need tons of power. Like headphones, when they're sitting on top of your ear, like you gotta push some power through.
Yeah, you have to have a good clamp on your headphones to get that same seal. But one thing that headphones kind of shine at better than a pair of IEMs, especially if they're open back headphones, is the sound stage. So with IEMs, them being sealed so close and the drivers being like, you know, there's not as much room. I feel like the sound stage is a lot smaller. So for layman's terms, that basically means like, you know, if you're playing like a game, if you hear footsteps with a nice pair of open back headphones, like I had the DT 1990 Pros at home, you can kind of pinpoint like distance a little bit easier. The imaging and clarity is still really good with these. So like you can pick out that what direction it's coming from. With music, you can tell like the separation of instruments very well, but the sound stage isn't there for like depth, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I assume with like headphones, it's almost like imagine a speaker here, and here. With IEMs, it's like here.
And the soundstage is still impressive for IEMs. Like, it's totally usable. I played Valorant with them, had no issue whatsoever. I just knew that the soundstage on my open back headphones was definitely a little bit better.
Did you go positive?
I did.
They must be all right.
I top fragged.
He top fragged. It must be great. So yeah, you can get these IEMs, or again, there's a lot of different price ranges you can go with for IEMs to get started. But at this price point, they look pretty dang good. Let's move on to my product. Mine is interesting. I have a fun gaming setup product. This is the Divroom Pixoo 64, which if you guys have seen our videos before, I did the smaller version of this as well, and it's actually been in my home office for a long time. It's really cool, but this one had some cool features, which allows you to see a social media counter. I can see my crypto live, which is great. But basically, this thing has Wi-Fi built in. It's not just a Bluetooth device, it has Wi-Fi built in. So once you connect to the Wi-Fi, which I realized when I got here, I'm gonna have to reset it again because you have to connect it to a new Wi-Fi. The idea is you don't travel with this thing. You leave it at home, connect to Wi-Fi, either way. But you get some really cool like overlays and stuff. And I unboxed this at home, had it set up, and you guys can see some of the video here where I was showing you guys that you can get like a YouTube like sub counter on there, which I can put like ToastyBros on there and it'll show like the live sub counter. Pretty sick. But there's a lot of stuff you can do with it. But as you guys can see, and if you remember the other one, this one is much bigger.
It has a lot more pixel density too. Yes. I don't know if, can the camera see that?
Yeah.
I think it's 64 by 64. I think that's why we call it the 64, and then it scales down to 32 to 16. But yes, there are way more pixels on it.
One thing that's really cool is it has multiple, they're just standard like tripod or webcam mounts. What is that, a 1/4 inch? I don't remember what they call it.
I'm not sure the specific
but
mounting. But
very specific, basic.
There's a lot of different ways you can mount it into your setup. Now, I will say, is this a thing? I don't even mess with this. What is this? Is this a stand?
Oh, and you have these too for nails.
I don't think it's a stand. I think it literally is just, I think it just
looks like it's come out.
We'll go ahead and plug it up. But the one downside compared to the other one had a battery in it. This one doesn't. So this one is just, you plug in and you use it. So it's currently loading up right now, but I'll have to reset it with the app. The app's really where all the fun stuff happens. You download the Divroom app, you set it up. It's very easy to set up, which I will have to reset it once it gets into the sync mode here in just a second. It connected to the Wi-Fi here at the office.
It's cool that it uses USB-C, so in theory you could hook it up straight to your PC.
All right, so I had to reset it to connect it to the Wi-Fi here, but all you have to do if you are in that situation is hold the power button down for 8 seconds, then it goes into repairing mode. But once you get it paired up, you can do stuff like this. I mean, look at this. So this is our YouTube tracker, which you can see it does a little scroll here, which says ToastyBros, shows the time of day and everything. So you can leave this up like 24/7 on your desk and actually have some useful information here. Subscriber count, 865,000, which again, YouTube got rid of that whole feature where you could see the one sub at a time. If you could still do that, that'd be really cool, but you really can't do that anymore. But this is what they call a face, or like a clock face. So this is one where it's designed to be a clock that's on 24/7. You can obviously go through and mess around with different like pixel art, which we'll go through on the app and show you guys different ones you can throw on there. But this is one that's designed to be set it and forget it, and you'd have it on your desk.
All right, so one of my questions was, with this face, like if I wanted this in my setup, I don't have a whole lot of red, I have like a lot of orange. Can you theme this color, or is the theme kind of locked to like
So
these
a lot
colors?
of themes are, in a lot of the stuff like this is community based. So you go through and you can get stuff that are made by the community. I think some of the social media ones that are programmed specifically for this are just kind of as is. So it would be kind of cool if you could change the color, but I don't believe you can. If you go through to the faces gallery here, which we'll have some footage on screen here of some of the other stuff, you can see the social media phases, which there's a bunch of different ones. So we have YouTube video, so if you just want to monitor a video for whatever reason, you can. You have a YouTube account, which I wonder if this one might be more real time. That'd be kind of cool. You can do an X post, you can do TikTok, you can do Twitch, you can do a bunch of social media in China. So I think it's Billy or Billy. Yeah, that's what it's called. And there's a bunch of other ones down here. Pinterest.
TikTok,
I don't know what Tumblr's on there. But yeah, there's a bunch of social media that you can use for it if you want to, just flex your social media numbers, guys. You can do that.
I got another question. Could you scroll? Could you have it to where it does like a YouTube channel and then like a TikTok? Can you do multiple faces like timed?
I believe so. I think you can do the face gallery. So what you would do is create a new gallery. You would add, let's say, here's a pixel art thing. So let's just put on, let's see, what is this? This is a visualizer. So let's just add a visualizer here. So this, I wonder if this actually picks up. Ah!
Oh, it does.
Ah! So it's a little music visualizer. So, and then you should be able to alternate between the two. Let's see if I can add the other one. Oh, there's different ones here. What's this guy? Bounce
on it.
Yeah. Oh, wait, this one looks cool. Wait, hold up. But then also it still has the same stuff like the other smaller version that you could just go through and go to the community posts, and you can there's this random bee. I don't know why you'd want a random bee, but you can do that. Buzz. There you go. Jonah, give me something to look up. What should I look up? Cars.
I was thinking thinking that, like
JDM car.
like a GTR background. You know, that'd be kind of crazy.
Oh, here it goes.
Like imagine it just driving.
This is literally cars.
Okay, yeah.
Let's see.
You know what that is, Jonah?
Mr. McQueen.
Yo, what
Lightning
is
McQueen.
this? How about this one?
Dude, the viewing angle is crazy. Like on the side, I can barely tell what I'm looking at.
Look, it's gonna go vroom.
That's sick.
Ooh, it's got a flame.
Oh,
map.
that's from Initial D.
But then also, yeah, if you're on here just for the fun of it, brain rot scrolling, look, you could just literally scroll and just throw
Oh, wow,
it.
yeah,
It
it just goes.
throws them up on there. Because again, this is all connected to Wi-Fi. This is the goofiest one I've ever seen. So there's a lot of fun ones you can do. With my smaller one, I literally have like a little Charizard thing on my shelf behind me. It's pretty cool. This one I might actually use as like a clock because you can actually put a normal face on it and everything. I will say though, in the grand scheme of things, $125 is a lot for a item like this. But this is kind of like, I wouldn't say for the budget PC gamer, this is more of like someone's really trying to deck out their setup with a bunch of very unique stuff. You don't really see stuff like this on a setup. This is kind of an eye catcher. You come in and be like, whoa, what's that clock you have? It looks pretty cool. And this is a good option. You can save a lot of money going with the smaller one as well. I think that one's around $60 if you want to just get started with it. But I think the Wi-Fi features of this are really cool.
I definitely think too, like, you know, a lot of money, but if you're into streaming or content creation, this in your background would be absolutely sick. Imagine this displaying your YouTube numbers. It's already what I'm kind of thinking.
All right, guys, now that we had fun with the Pixoo 64, let's go to Jackson's product that was most certainly within the budget we originally planned.
Yeah, we went by 25s. We went 50, 75, so forth to 160.
125 to 160.
So my product is the Govee Uplighter, which is right here next to us. And this is a harder product to demo because it's really big. It's meant for a room. More specifically, my setup at home, I kind of have a background like this in a way. It's kind of like a darker woodsy theme. And so it's very orange right now, kind of like campfire vibes. And so what I did with this is I wanted something that I could put in the corner of the room to make the whole ceiling light up. And honestly, the inspiration behind this was Jonah, what was that, for like a Christmas a few years ago? How much was this, you think? Like
It was $17.
$17, and this is called like a sunset lamp,
Yeah,
sunset light. But essentially what this did, and it did a really good job, is it put something kind of like this in the ceiling, except it was static. It kind of just looked like a bulb on the ceiling, like a big aura. And so I was like, man, it'd be really cool to have something that actually like moves. And so I kept calling it an aura lamp. It's called the Uplighter, and it also functions as a normal lamp. So you can, that's really bright. You can actually use this as a lamp. So I saw a lot of people using it kind of like, you know, against a wall like this basically. And then you can see it looks really sick when you have it against a wall. I have mine more like this to where I'm really casting on the whole ceiling because I'm the main person looking at it. So I like when I'm gaming, literally my ceiling is freaking moving. It looks sick. And you know, I've always loved when people do like the whole cloud thing, you know, like the cloud with like the lightning, but I'm like, that's a lot of work. So this is a much easier and possibly cheaper way.
And it's Govee, so everything that you have already
dude,
is all synced up.
Look at all the Govee. So this is my Govee app. I really don't even have that much stuff. Some of the stuff's here even, but yeah, that's all you gotta do. So right now I'm using Bluetooth, but this does hook up to Wi-Fi, so I could technically edit it from anywhere. And this thing technically has 3 lights on it. It actually has the ripple light, which is that light up top. It also has a side light, which I don't even know if Jonah's seen that yet. Shit.
Oh,
Yeah, and this is RGB. You can change the color of that to anything you want. This bottom light that's actually like a book light, that's just, you can change the temperature. You can change it from like 27K all the way to 6500K. And then the one downside with this whole thing, I don't know if it's a power thing or what, you can't do all 3 at the same time. I don't understand why. I think that that's kind of like a little bit of a miss, but I don't use the lower light. I don't want to use it. My whole setup is kind of like dark with a ton of lights, like a ton of RGB lights basically. So me personally, I like exactly how it is, and I'll show you the scene that I have going. I actually had AI make it, so I'm kind of embarrassed to say.
Ooh.
And it mostly did a good job, but so this is like what I'm running at home. It's like an orange, yellow, and red, because I will say, one thing that this thing really struggles with is making like, it's good RGB, but it really likes red, green, and blue. So when you want to do like oranges, it's a little bit harder to make them. Overall, I think I did a pretty good job with it, and it matches my setup well. And this product is a little bit more premium. As you guys saw, Matt really kindly put a $160 budget in there for me.
Wait, where'd that come from?
Yeah, it's cool. Oh, we can also do this. If we can do, let's do music.
Ah! 6, 7.
It's just like the thing that you had. It's like, you know, detect
You
sound.
just put them all together and they'll just like be dancing.
Yeah, there's like so many different scenes on this thing though. It's actually like crazy. So a lot of presets. Like I said, you can do like DIY one. So I had AI make one and then I just adjusted it to kind of make it match the color a little better.
Yeah, it looks pretty sick. And I mean, Govee, we've seen a lot of their stuff. You got this, you get the whole ecosystem together, you get RGB strips and everything. If you're a PC gamer and your setup is lacking lighting and you want lighting, I feel like the Govee rabbit hole is the best rabbit hole to go down. You'll spend a good amount of money, but you can definitely get cool lamps like this, and they're always making new products you can incorporate into their app and make your setup just even better.
Not to mention, if you're into like Phillips Hue stuff, I know Jonah really is, it gets really expensive. They're kind of like some of the OGs, but I would say Govee's the first OG I know of that went cheap for everything. So you're definitely saving some money with something like this. I mean, how much is a Phillips Hue light bulb, Jonah? Just a single Phillips Hue light bulb.
$50.
50 bucks a light bulb.
This was about 150 to 160 depending on when you buy it.
So that or 3 light bulbs.
I'm picking that. Pretty
Picking
sick.
that. But yeah, that was the tech roundup, guys. Again, Black Friday focus doesn't necessarily mean all these are going to be on sale for Black Friday, but if you use the links down below, you can cash in during the Black Friday timeframe and see if there is a sale on these products. But the prices we did say are the prices we bought them, and hopefully these are some good recommendations for your PC gaming setup.
And as always, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you check out our other 2 YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/ToastyBros, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
See you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Now maybe you got a little bit of extra money to spend and you want to give the gift of a PC this holiday season or a merch item.
PCBros.tech. You can buy that gaming PC or merch item for a loved one or yourself. Treat yourself. I think you deserve it. If you buy PC during the month of November, you get a free mousepad and cleaning kit with your purchase. See you guys later. Goodbye.